Hello students, today we'll start learning 10th lesson cell and cell organelles. Today we'll start learning cell wall, cell membrane, osmosis, diffusion and cytoplasm. Let's start. I have drawn for you only cell wall. This is a cell wall. This cell wall is present in the cells of algae, fungi and plants. It is absent in animal cells. The cells that are present in animals, they are animal cells. So cell wall is absent in animal cells. The cell wall is elastic, strong. It is an elastic and strong coat around the cell membrane. So it is a protective covering of cell membrane of a cell, or it is a protective covering of a cell which is present around the cell membrane. Now how it is formed? Cell wall is formed from cellulose and pectin. So primarily it is composed of carbohydrates like cellulose. We know that carbohydrates are divided into three parts: sugar, starch and fibers. Okay, so this cellulose and pectin both make cell wall tough. This suberin it acts like a cement. Okay, so due to this suberin, this cell wall becomes tough. Its main function is to allow the substances to enter into the cell and to pass out the substances from the cell. So which polymers? Polymers means long chains. So long chains of lignin, suberin and cutin are added to the cell wall. Students, always remember one thing. The polymers like lignin, suberin and cutin, they are added to the cell wall as per the need of that part of the plants, as per the locations. So these substances are added. When it is added to the stem, cells of the stem, so suberin is added there to make the stem harder. Understood? So what is the function of cell wall? The function of the cell wall is to support and protect the cell by preventing entry of excess water in the cell. See, this is a plant cell and this green color outermost covering is called as cell wall. So it is an elastic and strong coat around the cell membrane. It gives support and it also protects the cell. If you look carefully at the labels, you will see the components of cell wall. There is pectin, see the rod-like structure, that is cellulose. Downside greenish clear is plasma membrane, that is cell membrane. So all these are outer part of the cell. We can see middle lamella and we can see primary cell wall of the cell. From this diagram we got the idea that it is made up of, primarily it is made up of pectin, cellulose and pectin. Now we'll move to plasma membrane. Now we'll start plasma membrane or cell membrane. This plasma membrane is very thin. It is fragile. Fragile means easily breakable, or it is very, very delicate. It is also elastic covering. It separates the cell components from outer environment. This plasma membrane is outermost covering in animal cell, while in plants present inside the cell wall. So after cell membrane, the outermost covering in plant cell is cell wall. This is structure of plasma membrane. Here protein molecules are embedded in two layers of phospholipids. This plasma membrane is called as selectively permeable membrane because it allows only certain substances to enter in the cell and it allows only waste substances to pass out of the cell. This is the structure of plasma membrane from our textbook. So we can see the lipid bilayer in which the protein molecules are embedded. They are embedded somewhere, not regularly. So due to this irregular composition, plasma membrane becomes elastic. So this is diagram, colorful diagram made colorful with sketch pens. You can also draw in your notebook and color it. And here we can see the two layers of lipids. And here protein molecules are embedded in these two layers. So here colorful protein molecules can be seen. As I told you, protein molecules are embedded in two layers of phospholipids. So plasma membrane is selectively permeable membrane because it allows some substances to enter in the cell while it prevents other substances to pass out of the cell. I already explained it. So due to this property, useful molecules of water, salt and oxygen enters into the cell, and carbon dioxide and other waste substances like urea, uric acids and ammonia exists from the cell or leave the cell. If any changes occurs outside the cell, the cellular environment does not change. Why? Because of plasma membrane. So such condition of the cell is called as homeostasis. So in spite of changes in outermost or outer environment, the plasma membrane maintains the internal environment as it is. So this condition is called as homeostasis. Now we'll understand how do substances travel in the cell. So substances travel in the cell by two methods or by two processes. Number one, diffusion, and second one, osmosis. So both processes need energy. Now the substances, how they enters. The first process is endocytosis. So here the food is entered into the cell from outer environment. While exocytosis, here waste materials are passed out from the cell. That is excretion process takes place. So these two processes, they consume cellular energy, while the processes that don't consume cellular energy are diffusion. Here entry or exit of small molecules like oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Here energy is not required. And second one is osmosis. So here the traveling of water from a part with more water to a part with less water through selectively permeable membrane is osmosis, and this osmosis takes place by three ways. Again one time, what is osmosis? So it is a traveling of water from higher concentration to lower concentration, and there are three possibilities of osmosis. So we learn one by one. The first type of osmosis is hypotonic. In this type, the cell has less water than outside medium. So what happens? The water from outside medium enters into the cell. Such type of osmosis is called as hypotonic osmosis, and that solution is called as hypotonic solution. Okay, we learn with the example of resins. So these are the resins which are kept in that plate. Resins are a type of dry fruits. Now when they are soaked in water, they absorb water because resins, they are dry. So inside that resins there is no water. When they kept in water, outside that resins there is a more water. So as we know that water flows from higher concentration to lower concentration. So this water from the bowl enters into the resin, and after some period of time these resins swells. So this tells us that when there is a greater concentration of water outside the cell, water moves from higher concentration to lower concentration. So this is kishmish, that is second type of resins. So how it gets swelled? When water enters from the bowl into that resin. So such type of osmosis is called as hypotonic osmosis. Here water enters from outside medium into inside medium. So this is a plant cell. Here water enters from outside medium into the cell. See, the vacuole is fully filled with water. So such osmosis is called as hypotonic osmosis. It also takes place in animal cells. So we will learn with the help of RBC. RBC means red blood cells. RBCs are biconcave. So when water enters, see, this is a path of water which is shown by yellow arrows. So this RBC is fully swelled. This is because of water enters into RBC. Students, hypertonic osmosis and isotonic osmosis I will send in second part of or next part of video. Till then, bye.